You're gonna be on food stamps.
Mind your business. Stop being nosy.
Let me tell y'all something. This is my last year. Okay?
This is my mama last year on Section 8.
Yeah.
Shut up.
New law could make women homeless. New law could punish single mothers. Today's video covers the topic of Section 8 finally coming to an end, which is set to now happen. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications of Section 8 now being wound down, how this will affect women going forward. Don't forget to follow us over on Rumble, link to the description of the video. And if you want to learn about crypto, go and check out Angry's Crypto Academy to learn how to buy, sell, and trade crypto. And now let's go ahead and jump right into the video.
When I first heard of Section 8 and public assistance, it sounded like I hit the jackpot. Like, I'm finally here. I finally get to live a good life, rent-free. I get to keep my money in my pocket because I get my rent paid. Little did I know that it would ruin my life. I got Section 8 after I had my second child. I applied to all these wait lists and I finally got it. And I got to choose the neighborhood I wanted to live in. I got to pick the house that I wanted to live in as long as it fit the budget. I got to choose how many bedrooms that I got. It was so wonderful. At that time, I didn't know that my then boyfriend, who already had a felony, would not be able to live with me anymore. So now, us living together had to be a secret. When it was time for inspection, I was hiding his shoes and hiding his clothes and hiding his belongings so that they wouldn't know that there was a man living with me, which caused tension. It caused, some resentment, and I'll talk about that later. But at that time, I didn't know how it was causing a separation between us. But we did it. You hear a knock at the door, and you wondered if it's management or maintenance or somebody who's going to see him there. So, again, we would hide and sneak around and make it seem like, he didn't live there. And then it became one of those things that you don't live here. You can't even be on a lease. Not seeing how it would later on tear our family apart in many ways.
You see, guys, they think that Section 8 is a joke. They think that it's free money. It's not free money. Think of, they have the notion inspection where they come around to where you live, your apartment, and they go inside and or whatever you're living in, and they look around in there to make sure there is no man there. You have to see very clearly that this was always a system designed to separate men and women. It was always a system designed to put men out of the home, to give the state control over the family. And it worked perfectly well. So basically, something massive is now happening. And I'll go ahead and put it on the screen for you guys so you can check it out momentarily. However, basically, Trump, the Republicans, they're very close now to passing a bill. And it's when I say a bill, I'm talking about a budget update, a budget proposal. So, as you can see on the news on the screen, comes from Leading Report. President Trump's 2026 budget proposal would effectively dismantle the Section 8 program. So let's go ahead and read a little bit more. The Section 8 program ballooned from $44 billion to $89 billion annually since 2019, while waitlist grew by 32%. So Section 8 is now annually costing taxpayers almost $100 billion a year. Trump's budget transforms this broken federal mandate into state managed block grants, cutting bureaucratic bloat and forcing accountability. The Department of Government Efficiency already proved states can deliver better results, with HUD's $2.9 billion contract cancellation for failed refugee housing programs being a prime example. Real reform requires moving power from DC's failed housing bureaucrats to local leaders who actually face constituents. And there are people celebrating truth versus left. Good, it's a crappy program that keeps people poor. However, there's actually much more to this. So the program is being dismantled. However, in a however, what this will also do is it will also put a 2-year limit on the ability of people who are able-bodied to collect Section 8. And that in and of itself is massive. So I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit about how this is going to work. Would this affect single mothers? Would the work requirement still apply to them? Right? Because there will be a 2-year work requirement. There'll be a 2-year limit on collecting Section 8, and then after that, there is a work requirement. And does it affect them? So yes, single mothers would likely be affected by the proposed changes to Section 8's housing assistance. The budget plan introduced a 2-year limit on rental assistance for able bodied adults, which could include single mothers who do not meet specific exemptions. Additionally, the proposal shifts funding to state managed block grants, meaning states would have more control over eligibility rules, including work requirements. While some states might offer exemptions for single parents, others could require them to meet work or education requirements to continue receiving assistance. Housing advocates warn that these changes could increase financial strains on single mothers, especially those with young children or limited childcare options. So there you really have it, guys. These women are going to end up, if this budget proposal passes and becomes law, single mothers would have 2 years to figure it out. And oh, it gets even juicier than that. So check this out. With a new budget proposal to Section 8, with the work requirement, would people currently on it that are able bodied have 2 years to look for a job, or if they've been on Section 8 for 2 years, when the proposed changes go into effect, would it affect them immediately? And that's where it gets really, really juicy. Before we continue, guys, I want to remind you to go and learn about crypto, invest in crypto, because this is going to be your way to survive and thrive as everything continues to crash and burn around us. And one of the best ways to do this is to visit Angry's Crypto Academy. Ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy, to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom, it's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The links in the description. Go check it out now. So, I mean, yeah, this is really crazy stuff. So, we're going to go ahead and jump into it. You guys know what's going on. So, the proposed 2 year limit on rental assistance, check this out now because it's wild. The proposed 2 year limit on rental assistance for able bodied adults would likely apply moving forward rather than retroactively. This means that once the change takes effect, recipients would have 2 years from that point to meet work requirements or find alternative housing. However, states would have broad discretion in implementing these rules, so the exact time frame could vary depending on local policies. Critics warn that some states may impose stricter interpretations, potentially affecting long-term Section 8 recipients immediately if they've already been on assistance for 2 years when the changes go into effect. Housing advocates are pushing for transition periods to prevent sudden displacement, but the final details depend on congressional negotiations and state level decisions. So there you basically have it. Depending on the state that they live in, like Texas or Florida, these people could be put out of their homes immediately, depending on the state. Some states they'll have 2 years right off the bat. So most places 2 years, but a lot of places like in the South, they basically could be put out of their homes immediately, and that's pretty much at the end of it. So they would be left homeless with their children. Their children may end up in foster care, but this would affect millions and millions of women in Western society, millions of women in the United States. So this law would effectively punish single mothers. Now, with so many homeless people under these proposed changes, where would they go? Well, what did Trump promise? He said that he said homelessness would basically become illegal, and he would be building many beautiful tent cities. So I warned about TTCs, Tyrone tent cities, coming to a city near you. And he said, Trump, these are basically the options that Trump gave. He said either we're going to imprison you, we're going to institutionalize you, or we're going to put you in a tent city and you will get the help that you need there. In other words, you're not just going to be in tent city having a good time, okay? You're going to be in there. They're basically going to put you through the ringer in there. You're not going to be able to just lay around and relax. Okay? It's essentially a prison. And once you enter Tent City, you don't leave Tent City. You are basically locked into Tent City. It's crazy. You don't just get to come and go as you please. And that is going to be an extraordinary reality for a lot of people that are going to be facing hardship right now. I talked about this years ago where I said this. I said this was going to happen where, you know, these people from the government, they're going to come to the Section 8 housing and they're going to say, "Oh, we're here to help." Cuz like, they're cuz now the Section 8 has been cut off, and they say we're here to help, and we're going to take you to a new temporary housing facility, right? And of course, and don't even worry, we're going to have people that are going to take care of your stuff, your things for you. So just grab the things that you need right now, and everything else is going to be moved for you. And they're going to say, wait a minute, you have movers for us? That's correct. All right, you have to leave immediately, but we have movers that are going to take care of everything, so don't worry. We have movers, they'll pick up everything. and they'll take care of all of your stuff. So all my stuff will be fine, absolutely. And they're gonna put them in a van, and you're gonna have these predominantly African American women who are gonna be like, okay, come on, kids, and don't get it twisted. There's gonna be a lot of white women in the mix, but you're gonna have a lot of predominantly African American women who are gonna be like, "Oh, come on, kids! I didn't even like this place anyway. All right, they've got roaches in here, roaches and rats, and it gets so damn cold in the winter. Let's go. Let's get the hell out of here and go to our new place, okay?" Thinking that like they're gonna be put in like luxury hotels the way the migrants were. This is what they think. They think they're going to hotels. So they're gonna get into the van. Them and their kids are gonna get into the van, and they're gonna drive them. They're gonna drive them like they drive it to a hotel, right? Or like or a nice shelter for like what a family unit, right? Because some shelters have family units for women and their children, but no, they're gonna notice they're gonna suddenly notice that as that they're pulling in to like this restricted area, right? With that has like you can't see in, and what the heck? Because like it's gonna be guard, like you're not gonna be able to see into Tent City. It's going to be sealed off. You won't be able to see the hell that's going on in Tent City. So they're going to pull them in. It's like this parking lot area, whatever. And it's like they're going to pull them in there, and they're like, "Well, where are we? Where are we? Oh, we're heading to your new home right now." And they're gonna pull in, drive up. There's gonna be armed guards in there, armed guards on the outside, armed guards on the inside, and say, "All right, well, get on, go ahead and get out." And someone's gonna be over to help you guys out, and they're gonna get out the vehicle. And they're like, "Here, what are you talking about here?" Like, this is no, 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 don't worry, everything's gonna be fine. We're just gonna get you processed, and we're gonna get you set up with a place to stay. All right, they're gonna try to act like this is just a processing center. This is just a processing center. They're gonna get out with their kids, and someone's gonna come over and basically tell them, "All right, listen. So this is where you guys are gonna be for right now." And they bring them over to like a spot, and this, they'll basically be like like just like maybe I don't even want to say chairs or anything. I don't think there's gonna be chairs, but like maybe something to sit on the ground or whatever. To say like you guys could just chill and hang out right here, just and someone will be over to talk to you in a little bit. So they're gonna be there, and they're like, "Wait a minute, there's no place to really sit." So now they're sitting on the ground. The kids are sitting on the ground. Babies crying, you know. And after maybe a couple of hours, someone's gonna come over and say, "All right, so listen, like some guy in a vest, looks like he works for Amazon, wearing one of those like bootleg, like BS Amazon like vest, ghetto Amazon vest. Like, all right, listen." All right, so I'm here. This is your stuff. All right, this is your stuff. You have to unpack it yourself, set it up yourself. All right, this is a ration kit. This is a this you need to, this will have to you'll have to let this get you through about get you through the week. Afterwards, someone else will come around and speak to you, and you say, "Wait, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?" And like this person has like an attitude like, "Listen, I don't have time for this. All right, I already told you what it is. Take care of it. Good luck." And not even gonna say good luck, just gonna walk away. And now this woman's gonna be freaking out, like, what the hell is going on? What the hell is this, bro? They basically handed her essentially a tarp that they're gonna call a tent. If you all don't know what a tarp is like a tent, but it's not a tent. You can fold a tarp in different ways and use it to protect yourself from the elements. And it's not even gonna be a nice tarp, because I know I've done homelessness. Homelessness is miserable. It's not even gonna be a nice tarp. It's gonna be one of those ghetto tarps where they like they rip really easily, right? This is because don't forget, this is government tarp, and she's gonna have to figure this out for her and all of the kids. And then of course there's gonna be yelling and screaming, and it smells in there. It's really gonna look like it's really it's really gonna look like hell. It's really gonna look like hell. And it's going to take them a while to get adjusted. And of course, like I said, that care package that they have, they think like, okay, we need to protect this now, but it's just like basic rations, like nasty crackers, some canned foods in there. They have canned foods in there, but there's no can opener. All right, and it's not even the kind of canned foods that you want to eat. It's like not even like baked beans and stuff like uh like mixed vegetables. I know some of y'all will eat it, but it's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be really nasty, really, really nasty, you know. And like I said, Tyrone's going to be in there, and Tyrone's not messing around. When Tyrone is hungry, he's going to eat. When Tyrone is thirsty, he's going to drink. When Tyrone wants some loving, he's going to get some loving because Tyrone is the king of Test City. He's going to rule Test City with an iron fist. So these women are going to be in there with their kids, and they're going to be like, when are we supposed to get out? When are we going to blah, 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 blah. And they're going to walk around, and eventually they find someone who works in there like, Miss Sir, I need some help. And then you're going to have the armed guards like, step back right now. You step back right now, or I'll put you on the ground. Oh my God. And it's gonna be it's gonna be real nasty. Eventually, they'll tell them a social worker will be around to talk to them, and fast forward like couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks. This black lady comes around wearing glasses that looks like she's miserable, and she's like, is it like, I'm Mrs. Steven. Listen, I'm Mrs. Stevens, and I'm here to talk. I'm your caseworker. So basically, you guys are here, gonna be here permanently. Not even say permanently, but you guys are new residents here, and if you guys need anything, then you could talk to so and so. Like, well, talk to so and so. We need to talk to you. When the hell are we gonna get out of here? And they're basically gonna say, get out of here. Like, listen, they're gonna tell them that it's a process. It's a process to get out of here. What do you mean it's a process? Well, you're gonna have to actually have a place to go before you can actually leave here. What do you mean? We have constitutional rights. Listen, miss, I don't have time for this. All right, I have a bunch of other people. A bunch of other people to see. All right, so if you want to act like this, then whatever. But I already told you what you needed to hear, and that's it. Y'all, it's gonna be nasty. All right, it's gonna be nasty. And then eventually, so they're stuck in there, and then the caseworker leaves, and eventually another caseworker pops up, like a couple of days later, weeks later, and they're like, maybe it's a nicer person, and they're like, listen, the other lady said that we can't leave, and blah blah blah, and how can we get out of here? And it's like, this is not right. And they're basically, and maybe they might just say to them like, listen, and if we let you out, where would you be going? You'd be going on the streets, right? And they're going to reveal like, listen, President Trump has made it illegal. If you go out there and you do not have a place to live, you will be arrested, and we are legally required to report you as a transient. You know, if you leave here, all right, you are classified as a homeless person, and you're not going to be able to just go out there and walk the streets anymore. Like, it doesn't work like that. You're here for the long haul. You need to get used to it. Okay, you and those kids. And they're going to be in there hollering and screaming and crying and saying that, and blaming men. Like, where the hell are the men? How the hell are the men allowing something like this to happen to us? The men. That's how women think, y'all. They're going to be in Tent City cursing our name while we're at home, eating well, sleeping well, playing games, just enjoying ourselves, having a good old life, eating, sleeping, pissing, pooping, just relaxing as they're in there. And we have our own toilets. If we want to go poop, we can go and poop in our own toilets. Nice clean toilet. All right. Nice clean fresh toilet. These people, they don't even have it like that, because like they're in these places, they don't have proper toilets. There are porta potties if you can get access to one, but realistically, the best thing for you to do is to learn how to go in a bag. And I said bag because like, even a bucket. Even the idea of getting access to a bucket in there is very, very difficult. If you get a bucket, you're going to end up losing it eventually. All right, buckets are going to be very hard to come by in there. A bucket is a luxury. A bucket to go and piss and to go to pee and poop in. That's a luxury in Tent City. All right, a bag is the best that you can get, and you're just gonna have to learn how to pee and poop right in front of everyone else, because everyone else is going to be doing it right in front of you. All right, and that's just the fate that a lot of modern women have now found themselves in because of the choices that they've made. And for men, this will basically be men. This is not even, women will say that men are trying to get revenge by not helping them, by not coming to rescue them. Men let us suffer. Men let us die. Men, they're going to be freaking out and panicking. Those phones are going to get cut. Don't worry, y'all. Don't worry, because they'll be in Tent City, so they won't. Eventually, those phones are going to get cut off. Their cell phones will get cut off. Will be cut off very, very shortly. So they're not going to be able to survive in there very long. Those phones are going to get cut off. They're going to be in there with no phones, no way of contacting the outside world. All right. They're not going to be able to find an attorney. Oh, it doesn't work like that. No legal aid service is going to work with them. They are basically in there for the long term. All right. Them and their kids. Them and their kids. And that's really it. So what does this really mean? This is really women. This is really a punishment for single mothers, and it should be a wake up call for women because they are going to face extraordinary hardship, poverty, destitution, and basically consequences for the choices that they've made, specifically choosing the state over men and helping and working as agents of the state to reallocate wealth and resources for men and destroy the nuclear family. But let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.